Hello, this is Dr. Ben Cisse, and this is Urban Biology, home of effective high school biology teaching. The video that you're about to watch is going to be on cells. To be specific, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. All right. This is not just any type of video. This is an interactive video. I will be teaching this video to pretend like you're sitting right there in this class, and then I'm talking to you, asking you questions, and you are giving me feedback. My goal for you is to do very well in all our biology classes, but specifically for you to do excellent, for you to have a very great score on the end of course test, which is given by just about every single state in the continental United States of America. All right, so the goal for today is to learn about cells. So let's begin by me showing you a picture and see if you can tell me the things that I've showed you on this on the board, which ones have cells and which ones do not have cells. Okay, so let's look at this picture. So this picture here is kind of blurry right now. You cannot see it. I do not understand why it is blurred. Okay, there you go. Here's the picture. So if you look very carefully at this picture, you have different items, and I want you to look at these different items that I have showed you here on this board, and tell me which ones have cells and which ones do not. Zebra, I have a zebra, I have a teddy bear, I have a mushroom, skateboard, and I have fish, and I have alligator, and I have a notebook paper, and I have a tree, and I have a frog, and I have a. So look at it very carefully. Would you be able to tell which ones have cells? Now, let's start. Now, how about a skateboard? Do you think a skateboard has cells? If you said no, you are correct. Skateboards do not have any cell. How about a zebra? Yes, a zebra has a cell. Frog has a cell. A fly has a cell. Okay? So those things that have cells are actually called living things. All right? So you cannot make any living things, or we cannot have any living thing in this world at all if we do not have cell. In other words, to make living things, you have to start out with a cell. Okay, this will be the same thing like you want to build a brick house. You want to build a brick house, you start with bricks. You want to build a glass house, you start with a glass. You want to build a wooden house, you start with wood. Okay, so if you want to build living things, guess what you start with? You start with cell. All right, but what is a cell? What exactly is a cell? What's the working definition for a cell? Well, I am made up of cell and you're made up of cell. All right? Now, right now I'm talking to you. What made it possible for me to communicate with you, to talk with you, or to have some type of a function right now is because of cell. As I'm talking to you right now, my blood is flowing through my veins and my arteries and my capillaries and all my vessels in my body. What made that possible are cells. All right? So cell gives me my function. But that's not all. I also have a structure. When you look at me, you can say, well, Dr. Cisse is medium height. Dr. Cisse has brown hair. Dr. Cisse has brown eye. That is a structure. Okay? What made that possible is a cell. So what I have just described is the working definition of a cell. So what is a cell? A cell is the basic structure and function of all living things. What gives you your structure are cells. What makes you move around are cells. All right? Okay. So now we know what the basic definition of a cell is. So what if I asked you to tell me how many main groups of cells are there? How many do you think are there? Try to guess. That's right, two main groups of cells. So in this entire world, you can take every single living things and the cells in them and divide them into two main groups. So what are these two main groups into which we can divide every single cell in this entire world? Well, one is called prokaryotic cell. So the entire collection of cells in this world can be divided into how many groups again? Two groups. And one group is called what? Prokaryotic cell. All right? So the only example or the only living thing that you need to know that has prokaryotic cell, at least in terms of high school biology, is a bacteria. So every other single living thing has the other type of cell, which we call eukaryotic cell. So what do you think are some examples of eukaryotic cell? Exactly right. You can give me any name of any other living thing. That living thing has eukaryotic cell. As long as it's not bacteria, okay? If it's not bacteria, then you know it has eukaryotic cell. So a plant cell is excuse me, plant cell is eukaryotic cell. An animal cell is also eukaryotic cell. A fungi cell is also eukaryotic cell. And protista cell is also a eukaryotic cell. So every single living thing in this world is made up of eukaryotic cell except bacteria. Make sure you know that. All right. So let me ask you a question. What are the two main groups of cells? The entire collection of cells in this world can be divided into two groups. What are those two groups? Would you be able to tell me? Exactly right. One group is called prokaryotic and the other group is called eukaryotic. Okay, so let's see if you're correct. So one group, yeah, you got it, prokaryotic cell. Boy, I applaud you. You guys are smart. And what's the other one? Oh yes, great, eukaryotic cell. So there are two main groups of cells in this entire world. Okay, all right. Oh, by the way, what type of cell do you think I have and why? What type of cell do you think I have? Is it prokaryotic or is it eukaryotic? Yes, you are so correct. I have eukaryotic. Why? Well, simple explanation, because I am not bacteria. Remember what we said? If it's not bacteria, bingo, automatically it is eukaryotic cell. So I am made up of eukaryotic cell, okay? So how are all the cells similar? Okay, how are they similar? How is prokaryotic cell similar to eukaryotic cell? Well, let's look at this picture that I have here on the board. Okay, first of all, the bottom one right here, it says all cells. This is not just one cell, but every single cell. All cells have what? All cells have a cell membrane. Okay, a membrane is like a circle that's going around the cell itself. It's protecting the organelles or the little structures that are inside the cell. Every single cell needs to have that. Every single cell needs to have some type of protection. And what protects the inside of the cell from the outside of the cell is called a cell membrane. In some books, you will hear the word plasma membrane. So cell membrane and plasma membrane is the same. Again, to reiterate, what is a cell membrane? A cell membrane is like a circle that is going around the cell to protect the cell, the inside of the cell, and from the outside of the cell. All right. Now a cell also has DNA and cytoplasm. Now first let's start with the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is like the space that's found inside the cell. Okay, it's like in your house. Your house has space. Some of your houses, the space, the floor basically is made up of wood, laminated wood. Some of you is have rugs. Okay, so you do have a space in your house. So let's look at a cell as a cell as something that has a space. That space is called a cytoplasm. And that cytoplasm is made up of like a jelly. Instead of a rug, it's made up of like a jelly-like fluid. Okay? All cells have it. Why? Because all cells have space. What's that space made up of? It's like a jelly-like fluid. And what's in that space? Well, there are little structures in that space that we call organelles. We will talk about that in another video. Okay? So that's not all. What else do all cells have? All cells also have DNA. Now, DNA is the genetic material that's found inside the chromosome. And inside the DNA, you have what we call genes. All right? So all three of those, the chromosome, the DNA, and the gene, collectively we call the genetic material. So all cells have genetic material. But I know some of you probably ask, well, Dr. C said, why is that so? Why is it that all cells have genetic material, or why is it that all cells have DNA? Well, the reason why all cells have DNA, because DNA is the master of the cell. Okay, it gives the instructions on how to make protein. Then we use that protein to make the different parts of the cell. Okay, so all cells must have it. Why? Because all cells must have protein. Why protein? Because protein can be used to make different other parts of the cell. All right. So all cells have DNA. Where's the DNA found? Let me see how many of you have been listening. Hey, that's right. It's found inside the chromosome. And what's inside the DNA that actually carries that genetic information? Those are the genes. Okay. So all cells have DNA. All cells have chromosome. All cells have genes. Why is that important? So protein can be made, and protein is essential for the healthy life of a cell, and also for you, by the way. Okay? All right, so the next one that all cells have is a ribosome. Now, I just told you a few minutes ago that protein is important for the cell and also for all living things. Okay? But a ribosome is like a food. It's like you're trying to bake bread. If you're trying to bake bread, well, you got to put it in the oven or you put it somewhere where bread is usually made. Okay, so it's the same thing with a ribosome. Ribosome is where the protein is made. Okay, so all cells need to have it. Why do all cells have to have ribosome? Because protein has to be made. And where's the protein made? Inside the ribosome. So don't forget that. Four important parts that all cells have in common. Number one, all cells have DNA. Number two, all cells have cytoplasm. All cells have a cell membrane, and all cells have ribosome. And I've already explained why all cells need to have that, all right? Okay, so now let's look at the Venn diagram. This is a Venn diagram to show the similarity and the differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Where the lines or where the circle cross each other, it means it is common to both of them. Like right here in the middle, okay, whatever is in the middle, it means both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells have. If it's outside this circle right here to the far left or to the far right, it means only that particular cell has that structure, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started. First, prokaryotic cell. They don't have a true nucleus, okay? So prokaryotic cells do not have a true nucleus. A true nucleus simply means that you don't have a membrane or like a circle going around the genetic material. Okay, remember I told you earlier that all cells have DNA. Now for prokaryotic cells, there is not a line going around that DNA. And because there's not a line or circle going around that DNA, we say they don't have a true nucleus. If there's a circle going around that DNA, then we say they have a true nucleus. All right? So try to guess, because I know you guys are really smart. So if prokaryotic cells do not have a true nucleus, tell me about eukaryotic cells. Exactly right. They have a true nucleus. Why do they have a true nucleus? Yes, because there's a circle going around the genetic material. Okay, so eukaryotic cells has a true nucleus. Okay, secondly, eukaryotic cells do not have like membrane-bound organelle. Okay, so there is the little structure that's found inside the cell, and those little structures found inside the cell have again like a circle going around them. Okay. When the circle is going around those little structures that we call organelles that are found inside a cell, now we call them membrane-bound organelle. Why is it called membrane-bound organelle? Because you got a circle going around that organelle. Okay. Guess what? Prokaryotic cells do not have it. They don't have any membrane-bound organelle at all. But eukaryotic cells have membrane-bound organelle. And also, when you look at the shape, I'm sorry, when you look at the size, the prokaryotic are the smallest. Okay, so based on what I have here under the prokaryotic cell, would you be able to tell me what I need to write under eukaryotic cell? Think about it. Exactly right. I heard someone said under the eukaryotic cell, you write down that they have membrane-bound organelle. Exactly right. What else? You guys are smart. That's right. So which means they are larger. They're the biggest one, all right? If you compare prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, the biggest one or the largest one is the eukaryotic cell. Now, question: which cell do you think appeared first on Earth? Which cell do you think appeared first on Earth? Is it eukaryotic cell or prokaryotic cell? And give me your rationale. Give me why. Why do you think? If you say prokaryotic cell, why do you think it's prokaryotic cell? If you say eukaryotic cell, why do you think eukaryotic cell? Okay, good. Here's the answer. The first cell to appear on Earth is a prokaryotic cell. You know why? Because it's small. To make something big, you always start with small. We just said a few minutes ago that eukaryotic cell is larger. Right here is larger. To make something big, you have to start with something small. Therefore, because the prokaryotic is small, we're the first one to actually appear on Earth. Okay, so don't forget that. All right. Okay, so let's continue. Now we're going to look at the similarity. We earlier spoke about the similarity between all cells. Anyone remember? Yeah, they have ribosome, they have cell membrane, and they have cytoplasm. Excellent, excellent, good job, excellent. So what's in the middle right here is what all cells have in common, right here. And if the red is only common to the eukaryotic cell, and the green on this side is only common to the prokaryotic cell, okay? Okay, let's continue. You guys are great. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. Give me feedback. Even though I'm not there, I can tell some of you give me feedback. Now, what you see I have on the board now is a prokaryotic cell. This is a bacteria. The only cell that I said you have to, the only organism that I said you have to remember as one that has only, okay, one that has only the prokaryotic cell. Okay, so this is a bacterial cell right here. And then this is an animal cell. Animal cells are eukaryotic cell. Why? Because it's not a bacterial cell. Okay, so now let's list the three main differences. The three main differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Three main differences. Okay, so let's look at it. Well, can you tell me one is smaller, right? Remember? So if prokaryotic cell is smaller, what do you think I should write on the other side? Exactamundo, you're correct. Has larger size. Okay, what's another? Yeah, has membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria and chloroplast. What do you think I should write under eukaryotic cell? Yeah, you go. Okay, let's go under prokaryotic cell. Does not have a true nucleus, and example is only bacteria, and of course has a true nucleus. And what's an example? Example is all cells except bacterial cells. Okay, all cells except bacterial cells. Okay, good. I think we already explained the differences and the similarity between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. But let us quickly review just to make sure you're getting it. Okay, how are all cells similar? Remember, I gave you 4 structures that all cells have in common. Okay, let's look. Prokaryotic cell on this side. Hey. What do we have on the other side? Eukaryotic cell just marching in real slowly. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Prokaryotic cell, what do you have? I have a cell, a plasma membrane. Okay, let's go to eukaryotic cell. Mr. Eukaryotic cell, what do you have? How are you similar to prokaryotic cell? Oh, he too has a plasma membrane or cell membrane. Let's go to a second similarity. Prokaryotic cell, I have DNA or genetic material. Guess what eukaryotic says? Me too. I have DNA or genetic material. What else? I have ribosome. It said, I bet you don't have ribosome. It said, really? Check me out. It said, me too. I have ribosome. Last but not least, has cytoplasm, and guess what eukaryotic cell has? Eukaryotic cell also has a cytoplasm. So those are the 4 main similarity between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Okay, what next? Okay, now let's look at a model of bacteria, and let's look at the model of bacteria. That's a bacteria, I showed you that earlier, and this is a plant cell, okay? Bacteria and plant cell. I'm not going to the details right now, but just know the different shape. When we talk about the structure and function of cell, then we will try to understand the structures and of both prokaryotic and eukaryotic more better. All right. Okay. So here we go. So now ready for review. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. You ready? All living things are made up of. What is it that all living things have? Quick, quick, quick. Cells. All living things have cell. You don't have a cell, you're not living. Okay, so which means baby dolls don't have a cell. Okay, what's that? What's the next one? All cells in the entire world can be divided into how many groups? How many groups do you think all cells can be divided into? Quick, 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 quick. Yeah, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So, oh, and how many groups? Two groups. Okay, two groups, two groups. Okay, now let's go to the next question. The two main groups of cells are, so we already said what the answer is. We have prokaryotic and then we have eukaryotic. Okay, let's go to the next question. The cell that first appeared on Earth was which one first appeared on the Earth and what's your rationale? Which one, which one, which one, which one? Quick, 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 quick. Yeah, prokaryotic cell. How do you know? Because they're small. To make something big, you have to start with something small. So they're the first one to appear on Earth. Okay. Okay. So there you go. Prokaryotic cell. Okay. Let's go to the next question. The cell that is called the modern cell. Okay. The cell that's called the modern cell. Okay. Or the recent cell is what? Well, if we say prokaryotic cell is the oldest, so the modern cell has to be eukaryotic cell. All right. How many of you have all 5 questions correct so far? Great job. You do a wonderful job. Keep it up, okay? Keep it up. All right. You back there sleeping, you with your head on the desk. Please raise your head up and follow, okay? Remember, I want you to pass the end of course test and also for you to do very well in your biology classes, okay? Okay, let's go to the next question. Next question says, which cell does not have membrane-bound organelles and why? Which cell does not have membrane-bound? Is it prokaryotic or eukaryotic? You have a 50-50 chance to get it correct. How many of you say prokaryotic? Okay, how many of you say eukaryotic? Ha! Guess who has it? Prokaryotic. Okay. If you say prokaryotic, pat yourself in the back and say, I am good like that. I am good like that. Okay, let's see. The next question. The next question says, which cell has a defined nucleus? Which cell has a defined nucleus? Or which cell has a true nucleus? How many of you say it's prokaryotic? Put your hand up. No, you're wrong. Put your hand down. No, the correct answer is eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell has a defined nucleus. Okay. Okay. For the last question, give an example of a membrane-bound organelle. Now we did not review this over and over and over, but let me see how many of you remembered. What's a good example of a membrane-bound organelle? Yeah, mitochondria and chloroplast. You guys are so good. Excellent. So mitochondria and chloroplast are good examples of what? Of membrane-bound organelle. Good job. You guys are doing a great job. Okay. So that's it. And this eukaryotic plant cells and prokaryotic eukaryotic animal cell, eukaryotic plant cell will be for another video. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check my other videos on my channel. Okay. This is Dr. Cisse and good biology learning. Remember, don't sleep in class. Try to make a great score on your EOC. Okay, and also in your biology classes. All right. Bye bye for now. This is Dr. Ben. Bye.